brethren, in today's discussion, we are going to relate our understanding in reference to the exam preparation in chemistry. And at this particular moment in time, we are trying to talk about organic chemistry. So we have a question about organic compounds, but we cannot go any further without having to understand that when we talk about organic chemistry, we are trying to talk about compounds which can contain hydrogen and carbon in the same formula. In this case, we can derive by saying organic compounds or hydrocarbon compounds. So when we say organic compounds or hydrocarbon, we mean these are carbon-containing compounds, or these are compounds that contains both carbon and hydrogen in their formula or chemical formula or structural formula. Then, under organic chemistry, apart from understanding that these compounds contain hydrogen and carbon, we can also understand that there are certain types of compounds that are grouped according to their properties, their formulas, or their general appearance. And hence, these are called homologous series. So whenever we are being told homologous series is an organic term that can be used to refer to compounds having the same general formula, same general name, and also maybe the same general properties and appearance. So, having done that, we are going to be having different types of homologous series. But in our case, we are going to focus on the first type, and this first type is called alkanes. Now, let's see what the question has for us. Ethane is an organic compound, and its structural formula is shown below. Then we have 4 hydrogen atoms surrounding a carbon atom. So hydrogen, 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 and hydrogen. Then we have that is a carbon displayed on the middle. From this structural formula, an examiner can be keen to ask about stating maybe the chemical formula, which shouldn't be a case. You need not to know any general name of certain homologous series, because from the formula itself, you can come up with a chemical formula. So A, from the structure, state its chemical formula. The first thing is to align the number of carbon atoms that you have and write them first before you come up with the number of hydrogen atoms. In my case, I have 1 carbon atom. I'm going to combine with what other element is being displayed in the structure as portrayed above. I also have hydrogen. Hydrogen atoms are main, so I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this 4 is supposed to be the number of atoms, hence it will be denoted or shown beneath the H, which symbolizes hydrogen. The main reason I've written C once without having to write the number of carbon atoms is because it is appearing once, and I can assume like there is a hidden one here. Having done that, then it means I've stated the chemical formula. Then on B, name the homologous series where it belongs. So we're going to find that they've mentioned ethane. When we're talking about ethane, we're going to find that F is the first 3 letters that can be used to refer to the first position. In this case, we're trying to say, name the homologous series where it belongs. The only type of organic compound or organic homologous series which can contain a single carbon atom in the formula is only about alkanes. So this ethane is able to belong, that is, to alkanes. So here on A, we're going to say CH, then 4. Then on B, name the homologous series where it belongs. We're going to say alkane. We can either come up with this name using the structure by seeing a single carbon atom, because alkanes are said to be saturated hydrocarbons in the sense that they are pure and hence they contain a single bond in between carbon atoms throughout the structure. So like in this case, alkane came from the name ethane. So ANE is the general type of a suffix under which alkanes can be able to end. So if you are talking about member maybe number 2 or member number 1 or member number 3, let's say member number 3, we talk about propane. So if you say prop, we are going to put ANE so that it becomes propane. Like like that. So the general name for the homologous series where this belongs is the alkene. Then C. State the general formula of the homologous series mentioned in B. The homologous series for alkanes is different from alkenes in the sense that we're going to find that when it comes to alkenes, it's going to be C, then N, we're going to say H, 2N, but we're going to add a 2. Had this been alkene, we would have just removed a 2. Now that we are talking about alkanes, we're going to say plus 2. So this is the general formula. Then D. State one property of the homologous series mentioned in B above. When we talk about alkenes, the first 3 members of alkenes are always gases. Then we can also talk about the other properties like the mass of each member of the alkenes increases with the number of carbon atoms. Or we can talk about the relative mass or relative atomic mass. But in this case, I would prefer saying ethane is a gas, methane is a gas, then propane is a gas, and butane is a gas. So the first 4 members or the first 3 members are gases. That's more like a general property. We can try talking about that. Or we can say they have the same general name. Or we can say they have the same general formula. Or we can say they have the same general properties. So like in this case, we're going to say the first 3 members are gases. The first 3 members are gases. So this is how best you're supposed to answer a question, and I just really wanted to create a bit of a preparation which should be precise, but at the end of the day, we have something we can claim as an idea, provided this is one of the questions you can be bound to face after next week in the exam that will follow. So like in this case, just a bit of a throwback. Ethane is an organic compound and its structural formula is shown below. We have a single carbon atom surrounded by 4 hydrogen atoms. From the structure states its chemical formula, meaning the question itself is even more specific from the structure. So we are going to count how many C's we have. In this case, we only had 1. Then how many H we have? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So H4. Then B, name the homologous series where it belongs. The homologous series can be stated provided they've mentioned a name. Or since there happens to be only a single carbon atom, the only type of an organic homologous series type of maybe compound we can be able to talk about should be an alkene. So like in this case, I'm going to say alkene. Then C, state the general formula of the homologous series mentioned in B. So I'm going to say C with a smaller n displayed like this, H2n then plus 2. So this is the general formula. Then D, state one property of the homologous series mentioned in B above. The first 3 members are gases, or I can say they have the same general formula. And as usual, as it is well known, success really depends on the quality of your thoughts. So always focus on positivity, solidify what you know, go through whatever it takes, ensure that you repause this video, you repause, you watch, and then you grab a paper afterwards and try to reflect everything that is relevant. Thanks for watching. Until next time, it's a goodbye.